happy middle of October. Sorry, it was my little comfort toy here. Um, so, we've got to talk about the Delphi case. Like, there's some crazy shit going down. Like, I never heard of anything like this before. This is fucked up, to sum it up, in 2 words. Fucked up. I'm going to explain to you guys what's going on. I'm sure some of you might already know. I wanted to do this video, like, 3 days ago, and then something came up, and then yesterday I found out one of my favorite actresses in the whole world passed away. She was 84, she had a good life, she went in her sleep with, peacefully, so there's not much more you can ask, but, like, it broke my heart, because even though they get older, it's just still such a shock when they go. Especially because like I said, peacefully in her sleep, she didn't seem ever, like, sick, or, she didn't have any, crazy diseases, or anything like that. She just went, I guess of old age. Anyway, yeah, she was on Dark Shadows in the 1960s, like 1966 to 1971, and I wasn't even born yet, so I don't want you guys to think that, I was one of the original watchers, because it wasn't. My mom was. My mom, when I was a little kid, I was really into monsters, all kinds, like, I remember my uncle had these plastic, like, monster feet. They were, like, this big and, like, green. They looked like the Hulk's feet, right? And, like, I have some kind of, like, a joke. Like, they had straps underneath them, and you would just, like, slip them over your, like, sneaker. Well, I was, like, 3, walking in these giant feet. My mom said it was, like, one of the funniest things ever. And, I don't remember it, but I bet you it was pretty funny. Anyway, I digress. I was just, to give you an example of how much I loved, like, monsters when I was a little kid. And so, Dark Shadows started coming on in reruns on the New Jersey network when I was 9. And my mom was like, Heather, watch this. You're gonna love this. And I'm like, what? She's like, just watch it. Like, and she wisely didn't tell me it was a soap opera. It was not really. The only reason it was a soap opera was because it was on every day, and it was a half hour long, when it was on the afternoon. Like, that's the only reason it was considered, a soap opera. It wasn't very soapy, to be honest. It was about monsters. But, I apologize. That's not what this video is about. I just wanted to explain why I didn't put this up sooner, because it's fucking mind-blowing what happened. And I'm very, very sad. I'm very depressed, since losing my favorite actress. And then, like, just the true crime stuff in general is so, like, sometimes it really does get to me. So I'm my comfort Murphy here. This is my Murphy. He's like a bright light to me in the true crime world. Murphy, the dog from the Idaho 4 case. He looks like this. And he was, like, miraculously not hurt in the murders. And he was alone in a bedroom, not a speck of blood, and didn't have to watch his mommy get, brutally killed. It's a horrible thing to happen, but Murphy makes me happy, because he's the same dog. Kaylee's boyfriend has him, and he made him, like, his own Instagram, so we can all kind of watch Murphy as he's a puppy still, so we watch him as he's growing and everything. And yeah, so this little guy, he looks just like him, and he makes me happy. He does this little thing where, like, he barks and stuff. I don't make it. I did it before. Yeah, there you go. By accident. So yeah, so anyway, I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to tell you guys some of the ways that I, like, decompress with the gloomy and horrible topics that I talk about on here. So yeah. Alright, let's get to this. So, Delphi. I'm going to talk off, record. I'm not reading anything at the moment. I just want to tell you guys, sort of like in my own words, what's going on. So last Halloween, if you guys remember, they arrested this guy, Richard Allen, 50 years old, and looks just like the dude on the bridge. just like him. And I'm sure you guys know who I mean, but like here's a picture of Bridge Guy. This is a still shot from one of the murder victims had a camera phone. She got a video of him. He says, guys, down the hill, and that's all we heard. But apparently there's more to it, like, because when the probable cause came out, like, it said that after he said, guys, down the hill, they started to walk down the hill. Well, actually, let me start over. When he was approaching the girls, one of them says, gun. That part the cops didn't release to us. They just, all we heard was guys down the hill. But like there was a gun, and one of the girls said like gun. So obviously that's how he made them get off the bridge and go down to, you know, wherever the murder site is. So I mean, that guy, he's got to be the one that did it, right? Like, you would think, because he lured them off the bridge. It's so weird, because Richard Allen, like, you know, normally when someone denies, you know, doing something horrible like this, they get caught, and then, it wasn't me. You know, just like everybody else, he pled not guilty. But as time goes by, I wonder if he is not guilty. Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Because the dude is like, you would think we have him, like, red-handed. Because that looks exactly like him in the video. And he was there that day. Like, he told the cops, like, I was there that day when I went for a walk on the bridge. And he said that he stopped to look at the fish. And he was watching a stock ticker on his phone. So he wasn't paying a lot of attention to the people around him. And, he didn't remember seeing Abby and Libby. He, you know, like, he just said that he went for his walk and then he went home. He said he saw 3 teenagers and blah, blah. And then the teenagers, they said they saw him too. But they all gave 3 different descriptions of what he looked like. Because, I mean, they're kids and it's just weird. Like, in the probable cause affidavit, that's something I had a problem with. Like, the fact that the witnesses all said something different. Like, none of them said, well, one of them said she said blue coat, but she said light blue coat, and Richard was wearing a dark blue coat, like a Carhartt kind of work coat, and he was wearing jeans, and he had one of those hats, like with the snap in the front. But anyway, I digress. That's pretty much like how the whole thing started, and we thought, like, okay, so in the probable cause affidavit, along with that information where it was like jumbled up, like, you know, the 3 girls said they saw 3 different things. There's also an issue with vehicles parked at the old Child Protective Service building. Apparently there's like an old building where there used to be CPS, and it's like right kind of towards where this area is, and that's where a lot of people park their cars to go on the walk. So Richard Allen said that he parked there, and he said he was there from, I think he said from 12:30 to 1:30 or something, and like the crimes weren't supposed to happen until 3. So he put himself there, but he didn't put himself there at the same time, if that makes any sense. But this is, I'm telling you, he did this voluntarily, like way back in the beginning, before, you know, when they were just starting to investigate, and for some fucking stupid reason, the cops never, like, followed up on that. Like, how can you not, like, he put himself there. He looks just like the dude. Like, what's wrong with you people? But, the thing was, they had volunteers helping, like, interrogate people, because they had so many tips and stuff that came in, which is great, you know, but they had to follow so many, like, different leads. It was ridiculous. And so they had this guy that was like helping. He wasn't a cop. He was some kind of like, I don't know, like a park ranger, let's say. He had some kind of like authority, but he wasn't a cop. But he was helping out and doing, like, he did the interrogation of Richard Allen. And like he wrote down everything, didn't click in his head, and he put it in some file somewhere, and like people just didn't know it was there. Like 5 fucking years, okay? 5 years ago, we could have arrested this guy if they just would have fucking looked at their paperwork. So that's a little infuriating, right? So, but okay, that's assuming that Richard's guilty, because I don't know, you guys. I don't know. So listen, here's the thing. I keep saying that, I apologize. When they locked him up, he was I don't want to say fat. He wasn't. He was like, you know, he was like an average 50-year-old white guy. You know, he had like a little bit of a belly, you know, and you could see in his face, his face was full, you know, like he wasn't, he was far from fat. He was just like, I guess, husky, you would say. And, I mean, he looked healthy. And then, so they released a photo of him about 6 months in, and he looked like a different person. Like, he was so thin. He had, like, stuff all over his shirt, like stains, or like he was spilling stuff. And, like, he's not even looking at the camera. He looks like he's being really mistreated, or like he's going insane or something, because I mean they've had him in solitary the whole time. They say it's for his own safety, which makes sense. I mean, he's charged with murdering 2 little girls. You know what inmates do to guys that do that, you know. So they're saying it's for his own protection. I don't know, but like being locked in a room by yourself for like a year now. It's gonna be a year on Halloween, I believe. That makes you crazy, or you know, crazier. So the thing, I mean, like, I've never seen a physical, like, transformation like that with a suspect, okay? Like, he has, obviously, he's not been convicted yet. And that's another thing, they're not holding him in a county jail like they should be. They moved him to a state prison because, again, for his safety. Now, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if prisons are truly safer than fucking county jails. I would think county jails would be safer. You have criminals, but they're not, you know, convicted of murder for the most part. I mean, some, but very, very few. Well, I mean, no, that's not, none of them are convicted because this county's all pre-trial. So I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about them moving to the prison because I can't decide if it's cruel or smart. So Richard Allen has a defense team, and I mean, obviously, and they're public defenders, but you know, they have to, you know what I mean, like, it's their job to fight for him, and they are doing a kick-ass job, in my opinion. I mean, it's crazy. So they're putting forth this idea that, you know, Richard Allen did not murder the girls. It was someone else. And I just realized that I didn't finish telling you guys about the CPS building and I'm sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit before I start talking about Richard's defense. In the probable cause affidavit, when they arrested him, the discrepancy happened with the 3 girls and describing him 3 different ways. And then there was another discrepancy with vehicles that were seen parked at the CPS building. Like, Richard has a black Ford Focus, alright? I'm gonna see if I have pictures I can, like, point them out to you so you see what I mean. He has a black Ford Focus. Now, 3 different people said there was a vehicle parked there. One said it looked like a smart car. I don't see a resemblance. Then one said it looked like a purple PT Cruiser. I'm sorry, what? How does a purple PT Cruiser look like a black Ford Focus? Nah. And the third one, I think they said, fuck, what was it? Shit. Smart car. PT Cruiser. I don't know, minivan maybe? I don't know. It was another car that looks nothing like, you know, like I'm saying. When I'm doing my editing, I will go ahead and look that up for you guys. Because like I said, I'm going to try and put photos of the cars so you can see what I mean. They don't look anything like Richard's car. So why is that even in the probable cause affidavit? It makes them sound stupid. Because this is an affidavit showing why they're arresting Richard. And this is supposed to prove that his car was parked there. But, like, it didn't look like, none of the people said it was a black Ford Focus. None. So that bothers me. So, I mean, there's 2 things in the probable cause affidavit that are fucking stupid. You know, and they shouldn't even be there. And then there's the real reason why, or the let's see, the technical reason why they believe it was Richard. And that is because they got a search warrant for his house. They searched his house and found a gun. The gun they found had, bullets in it. And Abby and Libby were not shot, but the man on the bridge had a gun. We know that because one of the kids said gun. And at the scene, between the bodies on the ground, there was a bullet. The bullet was not a fired bullet, but the bullet had been in and out of the gun, Richard's gun, the gun they found in his house. So that does make him look guilty. Like he brought the gun to get them off the bridge. He probably cocked it to scare them, and then he had to release it, and maybe the bullet flew out. I don't know how guns work, but somehow, some way, it was dropped in between the bodies of Abby and Libby. So that right there, that's their smoking gun, And they're not saying we have DNA. They're not saying we have photos or video or anything like that. It's all going on this one fucking bullet. But even when I read that in the affidavit, I thought, okay, that makes him look guilty, but any defense attorney can make that there's so much reasonable doubt. The guy lives there. He walks there all the time. He could have dropped that bullet at any time. I mean, yeah, what would be the odds that it would land between the two of them? Not much. It's coincidental, but that's reasonable doubt, is it not? I don't know how they're going to get a conviction on this man. I just don't, unless they have more information that they're not telling us. So now, I want to talk about Richard's defense. I'll go back to what I was saying, because this is the new stuff that's come out that's been like, yaha, what? Alright, so Richard's defense, like I was saying, they're doing an amazing job. They're poking holes in the prosecution's case, left and right. They're saying that Abby and Libby were not killed by Richard Allen. They were killed by one or more people that are in a cult. I know that sounds crazy. That's out there. What? No, that doesn't happen. But this is the deal. They're not saying it's satanic. They're saying it's Odinism. Now I'm like, what the fuck is Odinism? I never even heard of that. For a minute I thought about superheroes. My boyfriend's really into that Avengers stuff, and I know that there's an Odin. He's the dad of Thor or something. But that's all I know about Odin, and that's not even real. You know what I mean? I never even heard that word except for in my boyfriend's movies. So I don't know, you guys, this is crazy. So, apparently, there was, at the crime scene, now we never, 5 years and we didn't even know how these girls were murdered. Now we know that they were, it was a stabbing, and they had their throats slit, and that's all they're telling us. Oh, and Abby was naked, Libby was naked, but Abby was fully clothed, and actually wearing some of Libby's clothes as well as her own clothes, which very weird. Very weird. And also, there were these sticks. Sticks laying on top of their bodies in, certain formations. Okay, so Court TV made a diagram that shows, kind of what it looked like, because obviously we can't see crime scene photos. I don't want to. They've been leaked, by the way. That's another thing I want to talk about. Oh my god. I have not seen them. I do not want to see them. They're apparently on the internet, and you can see them, and oh my god, that's fucking horrible. Who would do such a thing? So anyway, there's these sticks placed over their bodies, and they're in this formation, apparently, and I guess these experts in this Odinism study shit say these are, what do they call them, runes, and they're Nordic something or other rune. Okay, so, and also again related to Odinism, which is like I said, it's a cult, and it has, like, something to do with white supremacists. I like, you, if you Google it, I'm sure it's gonna give you a full description. I don't feel like reading it right now. Like, it's, just believe me, it's like some fucked up shit. It's like, it's a bunch of white supremacists, and they've made a religion out of their fucking hatred, apparently. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. Scientology still exists. So, yeah. Now, Richard Allen, oh, and also there was, like, another rune drawn on a tree. The tree that, like, Libby was right underneath it, like, and it's, in the diagram, it shows, like, her head and the tree. So, like, it was right there. And above her, on the tree trunk, somebody put, like, a rune. It looks kind of like similar to a letter F. I think I have that graphic as well from Port TV. If I do, I'll put it up here for you guys so you can see. But yeah, so there's, and it's in Libby's blood, this, like, rune, okay? It looks like an F. All of that's so fucking weird, you know, and like I said, we didn't even know that they were stabbed. Like, we didn't know shit about the crime scene for 5 years. Like, it took this long. Actually, it's like 6 years now when you think about it, because it'll be 6 years in February. So, it's just so fucked up. Richard Allen's in jail, prison, like I said, solitary confinement, and there's these 2 guards that work there. These 2 guards were wearing on their Department of Corrections uniforms patches that have the symbol of Odinism and the words, "In Odin we trust." I have so many things to say about that. Number one, how in the holy fuck are you allowed to do that on your prison uniform? How? How? You're not allowed to do anything personal when you're a prison guard. Nothing. Like, I don't know anybody that was a prison guard, but I was in jail one time for 3 weeks. It was stupid. It had to do with marijuana. But anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna discuss that was fucking ridiculous. Maybe I'll make a video on it sometime because it was so stupid. But anyway, you know, while I was there, I spoke to a couple of the guards, just about, I was interested in their jobs, you know, and you really just want somebody to talk to because you're so fucking bored. So anyway, like, I can't imagine how they were allowed to sew patches onto their Department of Corrections uniform that's, like, showing that they are into white supremacy in a prison? Like, really? The fuck kind of shit is that? Like, that's so not cool, you guys. What the hell? So, Richard Allen told his defense that those 2 guards are videotaping him when he's in talking to his lawyers. They're videotaping him all the time. And they have gone so far as to threaten him, okay? They told him he has to call his wife and confess to killing Abby and Libby, or they were going to go and kill his family the same way Abby and Libby were murdered. Like, these guards are threatening Richard Allen and making him confess, because we heard he confessed a few times on the phone to his wife. Like, it came out of the clear blue sky. He's been saying he's not guilty the whole time. He's on the phone with his wife and he tells her he did it. Like, I'm sorry, what? And she has not spoken to him since, because obviously she believed him. But he's telling his defense that he did that for their safety because he's being threatened by these guards. Now, you know something? I don't know shit about Richard Allen, but looking at him, he looks like he's being tortured. He literally does. He's lost like 40 pounds, easy, maybe 50, 60. He's so thin and he looks crazy. Like, his face is so gaunt and he looks sick. Like, it's horrible to see. Like, look, if he murdered Abby and Libby, yeah, I'm all for him going to jail for life, but you don't torture someone. That's just, no. Okay? So, like, eventually, after Richard told his lawyers about this, these cops or court officers were told they needed to remove those patches, so they did. like I said, I don't know how they were fucking allowed in the first place. That's the most ridiculous bullshit ever. I mean, I guess the only way I can see it making any sense is maybe it's got something to do with freedom of religion. Like, maybe it's like wearing a cross necklace if you're Catholic. Maybe it's like a yarmulke if you're Jewish. I don't know, okay? But I'll tell you what, I never saw a prison guard wearing any of those things. They wear a strict uniform, and that is that. Like, I don't even think most of them are allowed to carry their phones. Like, they gotta put their phones in, like, a locker or something. Like, it's crazy. So, that happened, and, like, then these cops, or rather, corrections officers, well, one of them at least, put out an affidavit saying, well, basically, I didn't do any of that. That's not true. That, you guys are nuts. And I'm not an Odinist. I am a Norse pagan heathen. What the fuck is that? So, again, I had to look it up, and I still don't quite understand, except the Norse pagan hedonism is apparently not white supremacist. They, something to do with the religions of Europe or something. Yeah, so, okay. I actually have the affidavit. Here's what he said. I am a correctional officer at Westville Correctional Facility. I have been assigned to WCU unit of Westville Correctional Facility since December 11th, 2022, and am currently assigned to B pod. I have been an acting supervisor in A pod, where the defendant is housed, since late February, early March of 2023. I do not practice Odinism, and Norse paganism heathenry is my practicing religion. Yeah, what? I started wearing the patches 6 or 7 months ago. Oh, I'm sorry. He says, I do wear patches on my uniform that identify me as someone who practices Norse paganism heathenry. I started wearing the patches for 6 or 7 months ago and did not stop wearing, my patches until September 22nd, 2023, when ordered by my command to remove the patches. The patches do not represent racism or hatred. I am not part of a cult. I am not part of a radical hate group. The patches show my dedication to my faith and my country. The defendant is filmed with a handheld camera when he is moved from the cell for his safety. So what do you guys think of that? I think they have this camera in his face. They're intimidating him all the time. They're scaring the shit out of him, telling him they're going to kill his wife. And, yeah. Like, apparently, Richard's lawyers are saying that every time they've ever went to, like, see him in jail or speak to him in prison, the first thing out of his mouth is, my wife and family are okay. Are they okay? Are they alright? Like, the man is, I don't know. Either he's, this is real, or he's just like the best actor in the fucking world. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because I don't know what to think. I'm just like, there goes my brain. Again, I mean, these cases literally make my brain explode all the fucking time. They're so crazy. Trying to think what else. Oh, okay, so about the leaked photos of the crime scene, apparently photos of Abby and Libby. Now, there's a podcast called The Murder Sheet. They are, like, the experts on Delphi. They're very, very good. Very, very thorough. I mean, it's a lot to listen to, so I, most of the time, just listen to, like, bits and pieces. But the Murder Sheet they're the ones that, notified law enforcement that these photos are online, because they were sent these photos. Now, they were sent these photos by someone who they call R. Like, they don't want to say the guy's name, get it out there. But he sent it to the Murder Sheet because he was like, I can't believe that I have these, and I wanted to let you guys know I don't know what to do with it. So, yeah. the hosts of the murder sheet, the names are Kevin and Anya, husband and wife, they call the cops. One of the, like, I don't know, lead detectives in the case or something, they call him and they tell him, like, you guys have a leak somewhere. Somebody's leaking these photos. So, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with the leaked photos. But listen to this. Last week, R committed suicide. Committed suicide. How easy is it to make something look like a suicide? Do you know what I'm saying? You get what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, dude gets leaked photos of Abby and Libby and then ends up dead. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on in Delphi, Indiana, you guys? Like, seriously, is it a cult? Is it the Odinists? Like, there's one guy who's an Odinist, like a proud Odinist, and he told his sister that he was there when Abby and Libby were murdered. Like, not that he did it, but that he was there. And that he spit on one of them. And the cops brought him in for questioning, and he actually asked the cops, can you get, like, DNA from my spit? Like, the dude, like, honestly, he literally went and said this. So, like, I mean, obviously, there was no proof, and he's just roaming around out there. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Richard Allen's guilty, or do you think they have the wrong guy? Like, I don't fucking know. I really don't. Another thing that's come out about the affidavit is there's another thing in there that says that a lady saw somebody fitting Richard's description coming out of the area where the bridge is, and he was muddy and bloody. Well, that lady has come out and said she never said bloody. She said muddy. So there's that. Like, what is the prosecution trying to make him look guiltier? I mean, it looks like it. It really does. And then there's another quick, like, strange thing that another YouTuber pointed out that I was like, holy shit, she may be right. All of this, like, Odinism stuff has come from Richard's defense, right? And this YouTuber said, like, maybe they're saying Odinism and throwing it out there to try and get the Odin, or whoever, if it's these Norse pagan heathens, maybe they're trying to get a rise out of those Norse pagan heathens. Like, no, you have the wrong religion, bro. It's us, not Odinism. Like, Odinism has nothing to do with it. You know, like, because you know how murderers want all the, like, credit. Like, look at BTK. He, like, murders somebody and calls, hey, there's a murder at such and such. So, you know what I mean? Like, dude really just was so full of himself. And I believe a lot of killers are like that. And what if it's a whole cult of people like that? Like, it's fucking whacked. So, yeah, that's about it. Like, wow, I didn't even have to pull that out except to read that dude's, whatchamacallit. There's another one of those, like, affidavits from the warden of the prison, and he, like, admits everything, too. He's like, yeah, they had those things on their uniform, no big deal. I told them to take them off when it became a problem. Like, I assigned them here and there, and, you know, like, and the thing with we videotape him for his own safety, so he can't say that he was, like, attacked by other inmates when we're moving him from here to there. So, yeah, what? It's crazy. This case is so fucking weird. It's one of the weirdest ones, like, I can ever remember. And that's, I mean, like, I'm really into this, like, true crime stuff, and, like, I'm familiar with a lot of fucking cases. And this one is definitely the weirdest. Like, I hope that they can fill it. I hope they can solve it, because, like, I don't think they're gonna get a conviction on Richard Allen. I just don't. Like, I mean, and then there's the Keegan Kline situation. Like, I mean, how did Keegan Kline make plans to see Libby on the day that she was murdered? And I just decided I wasn't going. And then he has nothing to do with it. Like, what? And he doesn't know Richard Allen, so it's not like he said, hey, there's gonna be these girls over there, you wanna kill them? You know what I mean? Like, but I really don't. I mean, I really thought that Keegan Kline was connected. I mean, he was like a disgusting pig with all the child you know, PORN all over his computer. And, like, you know, I think he's doing like 30 years for that shit. Like, they don't play around with that. And, he, like I said, he told Libby's sister, like, oh, I was supposed to meet her. Like, all casual. Like, what? But, I mean, he was catfishing her anyway. He was using a picture of, like, some cute little Canadian guy who looks like Justin Bieber. You know, so, of course, a little girl like Libby's gonna be, like, you know, stars in her eyes. So, yeah, like, I mean, Keegan wasn't gonna go and show up as Keegan. I mean, as the dude in the photo, obviously. He was gonna have to tell her, like, you know, like on Catfish. It was me. So I don't think that he ever planned to meet her. I think it was just trying to get her to send him ewy, gross pictures, because he was ewy and gross. And that's what he did. Like, he used that profile on purpose to try to get more little girls to take naked pictures and send them. He's disgusting, so I'm glad that he's where he is, but yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. Like, I really don't. So please let me know. Like, do you guys believe that Richard Allen is guilty? Do you believe it was him? Like, is that one bullet enough? Or do you think that he's being, like, set up and threatened and, you know, like, forced to say he did this to save his family? Like, do you believe that? Do you think they have more evidence that they're just not telling us about and it's all going to come out at the trial? I don't think they do. Like, I really don't. There's been so many leaks in this case that, like, if they did, I'm pretty sure they would have been leaked by now. So, I don't know, you guys. I wanted to have Willow say hi because she's literally standing right here, but she's being dumb. She's just standing there like, what are you doing? Oh, big yawn, come here. Come here, I want you to say hi to your fans. Come here. Come here. I'll show you. Say hi to your fans. How about if we bring your fans to you? How about that? Okay, guys, you ready? Bubba. There she is. Say hello. I'm going to be silly now. I'm going to be silly now. I'm going to do all kinds of weird stuff. I see, I wanna be pet. I want my belly rubs. I'm being so cute. Yeah, you see that, you guys? She fucking, I just love her. She just woke up, so she's being all, like, lovey-dovey. Look at that little face. Oh, my God, I'm so in love with this kitty. She's so sweet. You know, yesterday, when I found out about, oh, big yawn. When I found out about my favorite actress being, passing away and everything, I was really sad. Like, I swear she knew. She came up and was, like, just all over, giving me loving, and it was very, very sweet of her. And for some reason, my camera won't stay steady now, but that's okay, because I'm pretty much done with the video at this point anyway. But yeah, I'm very, very interested to know what you guys think. Like, please, like, hit up my comments. I want to know what I mean, like, you guys, how do you feel about Richard Allen? Honestly, did he do this? Let me know what you think. And also, like, what do you think about this shit with the, like, Odinism and the Norse pagan heathenry? I always thought the word heathen was, like, a bad word. Like, if you're a heathen, you're a bad person. So why would you want to be called that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I have the definition wrong. I'm not sure. Willow says, thank you very much for being here. We love you guys. If you'd like to leave any sort of donation for us, we are not monetized, and you can do that at PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. And I will put that information on the bottom of the screen and in the description box. And, yeah, that's about it. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.